I used to think I was just an ordinary mom until that fateful night when I saw it wasn't a dream, it wasn't a hallucination. It was a creature disguised as a person, standing in my kitchen with its back turned, but its head was not human. It looked like a gigantic, blazing red flower, each petal trembling like raw flesh. And right in the center was a jagged, razor-sharp set of teeth, breathing heavily, like it was waiting for prey. When it turned around and smiled at me, I couldn't scream. That thing was actually my son's first girlfriend. My son has always been a quiet, withdrawn kid, never made friends, never talked much, not even with me. He lived in his own world, so silent it was almost frightening. So when he said he'd met a special girl and wanted to bring her home, I was over the moon with joy. But that joy quickly turned into a nightmare because only I could see her true face. Everyone else, even my son, just saw a beautiful, charming young woman. Why was I the only one who saw the truth? Why did she choose my son? I tried to convince my son to stay away from her, but he just looked at me like I was crazy, like I was the stranger in the room. Every day, she'd come to our house, sit at the dinner table like she belonged, speaking softly and acting polite. But sometimes I caught sight of something dark and red on her lips, definitely not lipstick. Whenever I stared at her, the flower on her head would slowly unfold layer by layer, revealing a deep, breathing pit inside. And for a moment, I heard whispers, like trapped souls crying out. My son grew thinner by the day. He was losing weight fast, but he kept smiling, saying he was happy. I started watching at night, and what I saw nearly drove me insane. She'd sit on his bed, lean over, and bite chunks of flesh from his shoulder. Blood dripped onto the sheets, but he just laughed. He moaned, not in pain, but in pleasure. I wanted to call the police, but who would believe me? How do you explain that your son is being consumed piece by a carnivorous flower in human form without sounding insane? So I started digging through old records, folk tales, even hidden forums on the dark corners of the internet. It seems there are ancient beings called parasitic flowers, creatures that feed on souls through love. When I confronted my son, telling him his girlfriend was an ancient monster disguised as a human, he just silently stared at me. Then suddenly, he asked, "Mom, have you ever wondered why Dad died and you never found anything strange?" I was stunned. He walked over to Dad's altar, his hands trembling as he held the faded photo. "In my eyes," he said, "Dad had a head like hers. A flower, a huge flower, with teeth." The ground seemed to crumble beneath me. My husband died 10 years ago in a mysterious accident no one could explain. Back then, all I noticed was how distant and gaunt he became, just like my son is now. Could it be I once loved a creature like this without realizing it? Or did blind love make me unable to see what was real and what was a nightmare? She turned to me one last time, standing right in front of me, her petals wide open. Inside were faces screaming in torment. She whispered, "Love is the sweetest refuge for evil." Then she vanished, along with my son. No one believed me. No one ever saw them again. All I have left is a blood-stained bedsheet and a notebook filled with notes on the demonic flowers I desperately searched for. Sometimes love isn't what saves us, it's the path that leads us astray. When we love blindly, without seeing, hearing, or questioning, that's when evil can bloom perfectly. Not every flower is meant to be smelled. Some bloom to swallow your soul whole.